Hello there, YouTube. This is a little gadget I made for soldering parts and holding pieces while I worked on them. Been laying around for a lot of years. Picking up Mexico there on 11 meters. Okay, back to this. I don't know how I did this, but somehow I epoxied a nut onto this alligator clip. I've got a washer in there, and then I got the machine screw going through there. This is an old, like a binding post off a power supply where you wrap your wires around. I got a little rubber grommet in there. And I think the only reason that's in there because the screw didn't go in there very far because it's different threads. Well, these are those little clamps. I can't tell you what this is off of. I almost think it's one of those cigarette lighter sockets bracket. You mount in your car, because you shouldn't plug those power cords into a cigarette lighter. You should have the actual socket because it's made different than a cigarette lighter. Plus, if it's an older vehicle, it'll be all grungy. So it's the same socket, cigarette lighter type socket. An old speaker, which I did spray paint gold. Don't think about leaving it alone. Just leave the patina on it. Got your alligator clip. And I had this glued here with some hot glue. So you can turn this. Say you want to work on something that direction on either one of them. This worked great for like soldering coax. Like the tip. See how it's rounded? You put a piece of coaxial cable there when you're soldering your connector. I'm sure that's the reason I like that round part. You're soldering small things. About all I'm going to do to it is I think I'll put some Sharpie marker on here and make this black. On the bottom I have a piece of lead. I melted lead years ago for sinkers into a muffin tin cupcake pan. Had that waffle look on it. This is hot glued underneath. Okay. Then it was covered with a piece of felt. So I'm going to cover it with a piece, maybe a piece of cardboard, hot glue it, and then another piece of felt. Because I think that'll be better than just cloth on it. I may use even some of this micro cloth. This stuff grabs everything, so it doesn't slip around. I do have some of that. I'd rather have a different color, but I did have some black felt on it. But this fit in here just right. I just happened to melt some of these for weight for some reason. Was getting down to the end, so I melted some pieces for weights. But it's cheaper than buying one. It doesn't have two of them on it. You know, a lot of them helping hands had two alligator clips to hold two things. But there's always a way. You could put something in here. I may modify it. I may have another alligator clip on it somewhere sometime. Just a contraption. This is easy to release that, and that's how you turn it. If I have to figure this out because it seems to be too tight, I tried different washers. When I first took it apart, it was stuck. But I know I made it so that would turn. It gives you that knob you can grab onto. Because you might have something in here that's hot. Maybe there's another reason why I had this here too. Because if you're soldering something with a big solder gun, it's possibly going to get hot. So if you wanted to turn something, you wouldn't want to reach here, or if you're soldering, you'd want to reach something that's insulated. I'm sure that was my whole idea. It's been laying around for a lot of years. I just have to find it. I had to be digging through some of my old stuff, and it's like treasure hunting, scavenging. You come across something you made and you wonder, how in the heck did I do this? And what is it? Like, what was I thinking? I think this is one of those, this could be. It just doesn't look big enough hole. The bracket that holds your cigarette lighter socket type thing under your dash. It may be. But it did turn out pretty good. It fit right over. It's hot glued down in here. cobbled together. But I think I'll leave it alone. I sprayed it with some gold spray paint. Now it's getting wore. Having a terrible time with my lighting in here. This was a nice idea, but it kind of glares. We are on telemacro. Okay. That's it. I'll include a couple of pictures when I put whatever I put on the bottom. I have scrubbed this. I use things like wet dry sandpaper. I've been using 50% distilled vinegar and filtered water out of my water filter. Don't know why, I just want to keep everything filtered. I've been using that, and like this brush, brass bristled, it's getting shot. You would not believe the rust you could take off some little items like this. This was all rusted. There is still some small amount. This was rusted. If you look down inside there, you could see that was rusted. This was all rusted. This is bear, just like a grizzly bear, Japan. And let me look at the alligator clip. The alligator clip's made in Japan. So I know this stuff's old. You don't find stuff made in Japan anymore. I've been finding a lot of old stuff like that when I go through my things. Now it's made in the other country. But I know I use this for coax connectors to hold on to the small stuff. Even the big stuff, doesn't matter. It's held there, it's not laying on a desk, you're not chasing around with soldering iron, you're not trying to hold it with one hand and this and that. And that's why they called them other things. They had the two flexy things, alligator clips. Maybe I'll make one of them that fits in here. Maybe I'll get two more alligator clips and some flexy, even piece of number 12 house copper wire or something. So you can bend it and have two alligator clips. There's an idea. So you can modify it into another tool even. But it's entirely too long. But I figure if I make some of these videos now, maybe people watch them in the wintertime when it gets boring. That way you want to spend a little more time on a longer video. But thanks for watching. There'll be some pictures in the end of when it's all done and cleaned up the rest of the way.